Hey, what's going on? Luke here. For today's video, we're going to be talking about Jarome Luai. Now, he is out of State of Origin Game 3, so who replaces him? That's what we're going to be talking about. Now, Greg Alexander has actually already come out, and he's kind of somewhat confirmed that Jack Wighton is going to take his spot. He said Jack Wighton's on the bench, going to shift him into the 6, and then we need to find a utility or find someone to replace him on the bench. So, I guess the title of this video, the point of this video, I know I titled it, Who's Going to Replace Jarome Luai, but I guess effectively it's going to be who's going to replace Jack Wighton on the bench. Now, honestly, I don't know if I would have went for Jack Wighton in the halves. I know in my previous video talking about the whole Nathan Cleary situation, I was talking about Mitchell Moses, Adam Reynolds, and I said Mitchell Pearce would definitely come into contention despite him not, there's no way he should be picked, but he'll get talked about, and that's exactly what's happened. But it seems to be Adam Reynolds or Mitchell Moses at this point. Now, with the 6 going down, with Jarome Luai going down, my logical thought would have been, oh, well, they're going for a club combination. Even in that little part that I just showed you before, they talk about having a club combination, and that's why they went with Luai and Cleary rather than Cleary and Jack Wighton. Because it seemed like they sort of thought Jack Wighton was the better fit, but they just went with the club combination. Now, going by that logic, wouldn't you go with the Rabbitohs combo of Adam Reynolds and Cody Walker? Both of them have played Origin in the past. Both of them in pretty good form. They've got good combinations with a lot of the players. You've got Cameron Murray there in the middle as well. Well, not in the middle, but he's in the forwards. So you've got, and Latrell as well. So you've got some combinations to work with there. And yet they've already come out and said, yeah, Jack Wighton's our number 6. So, look, I know they've come out and said it, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of a switcheroo somewhere. But look, we're just going to go under the assumption that Jack Wighton is going to be the number 6. So now who do you bring in on the bench? Because the halfback, we've already done a video talking about that. Who do we bring on the bench? Now, my first thought was Api Koroisau. Now, he's been in the squad the whole series. He hasn't been able to play for Penrith when he's been in the squad, and he's been waiting for an opportunity. Now, the only problem for him is that Damien Cook's still playing really well, and he always does for New South Wales. So you can't really drop Damien Cook. But Koroisau, for me, I feel like he deserves to go. The previous game he just played for Penrith, he's the only reason they won that game, in my opinion. He was so good, and he stood up when it counted. And I feel like without Cleary and without Luai, New South Wales is going to be needing a guy who they can depend on. And Koroisau can do that. He can cover the halves, he can cover the hook position, and the whole back line. You don't really need someone to cover the back line. They've got enough guys in that back line. If a fullback goes down, you can shift to Trbojevic or Latrell, or if there's wingers go down, you can shuffle people around. And to be honest with you, this Queensland side, it's not exactly fantastic in the back. So they've got guys who are makeshift centres themselves in the centres. So I feel like if there's positions in the back line that get injured, you can always shuffle people around. Whether Jack Wighton goes to the centres, you bring Koroisau into the halves, there's always ways to work around it. And even then, I feel like in Origin, at the moment, we saw Nathan Cleary get injured in the first 10 minutes and play the whole game. So I think it's going to take a literal head knock for someone to actually go off in Origin. But for me, yeah, Koroisau, I think he deserves it. But there are other options. The obvious one, Cody Walker as well. He's done that role before. I thought he actually was pretty good in that role. And if you're looking for someone who can cover the back line, he's obviously your man. But that's just what makes Jack Wighton so valuable, and why I wouldn't have shifted him in the first place. It's the fact that he's big enough and agile enough that he can cover the forwards, he can defend really well, but he can also cover the halves and the back. So he's literally the perfect utility guy, and now they're chucking him into the halves. And I think he definitely deserves a shot. He's been playing in the centres, he's been playing off the bench, he's been waiting his time. This is finally an opportunity for him, and it'd be a shame if he never got a chance to actually play as a starting halves player, even despite winning a Clive Churchill and winning a Dally M. Then you have guys like maybe Mitchell Moses or Mitchell Pearce who get chance after chance, and then he never gets a chance. So look, I am glad Jack Wighton is getting a go, but at the same time, it's so hard to replace him. You even got a guy like Clinton Gutherson. I feel like he could do a job off the bench because he can also cover halves, all the backline positions, and I think he's just willing to get in the middle and take those shit runs as well, even if he's chucked in the forwards, chuck him in at lock. He can go in and he can just take those crap runs and just do a job for you. So I think he's another option. But really, there's only sort of 3 utilities that you could pick from, other than just going for another forward, really. And then hoping that you can just get away with Cameron Murray playing in the centres, or Angus Crichton, or someone shifting around, which I think they definitely can do. Not purely because they're good enough to really do it, but just because I feel like the Queensland side isn't good enough to take advantage of it at the moment. I know last year they took advantage of players playing out of position, but this is a whole different ballgame, this one. We're going into a dead rubber, essentially. Hopefully in Newcastle. I'm looking to go to Newcastle, but look, for me, I think you just go with Koroisau. I think he's a safe option. I think he deserves it. Jack Wighton's in the halves. For halfback, I'd probably go with Adam Reynolds. I feel like Mitchell Moses hasn't done himself any favours this past week. Obviously missed the goal at the end and just didn't ice the game. Took a really poor decision in taking a shot at the field goal from way out as well, and ended up giving an opportunity to Penrith to ice the game, and that's pretty much what happened. So look, for me, Mitchell Moses, like, you can pick him and they probably still win, let's be honest, but for me, I think Adam Reynolds has been there long enough. I think you give him a go, partnering with Jack White, and then on the bench, Api Koroisau. That's just how I would go personally. And this is like at the start of the week when it was Jerome Luai in the side, I probably would have went Mitchell Moses. But now that Jerome Luai is out and you've got two new guys, I think Adam Reynolds needs to be there. And honestly, I would have went for Cody Walker as a 5'8", but they've already said Jack White, and so that's who I'd go with. Api Koroisau on the bench. Let me know in the comment section below, who would you pick for the New South Wales Blues? Who would be your halves pairing? Who would replace Jerome Luai? Also, if you would have picked Jack Whiten, who do you have as his replacement? And even in general, who replaces Jack Whiten? Anyways, that's where I'm going to end this video. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure you go ahead and smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Also, make sure to turn on the notification bell. It's super important in terms of you actually seeing these videos. Sub box is super dodgy. Make sure you use the notification bell and never miss any of my videos, because I've been uploading pretty much every day as of late. So trying to be consistent, trying to keep them that grind for you guys. So yeah, use the notification bell. Also, while you're at it, go ahead and give me a follow on social media. It's on the screen right now. It's Mr. Luke and YT for the most part, as you can see on the screen. Everything's on there except for Facebook, which is just Mr. Luke. So go ahead, give me a follow, give me an ad, give me a like, do whatever you want to do. And that's where I'm going to end this video. Stay tuned for more content on the channel. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of stuff to talk about. Plenty of blowouts in the NRL. Plenty of big scorelines. Plenty of big performances. So I'm going to have a lot to talk about. But yeah, stay tuned for more content on the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. See yous.